What's a good portfolio in the current economic environment? It's a question I'm often asked. So I create a little app to find the stocks that thrive in any economic environment. But here's the problem. It's a question that I'm often asked by clients, and then I have to correct them. You see, they're too used to seeing headlines and breathless newsletters which say to them, now go into energy, now go into defense, now do this, now do that. If you actually break it down, then what you first decide is, well, I'm an investor, not a trader. So if I'm an investor, then I better not try and work out the exact economic conditions I'm in, because I'm investing for a longer period of time and those economic conditions are going to change. It's very simple. It's very logical. There is a temptation to trade amongst retail clients. That's why retail clients are generally poor. So if you then decide, okay, I'm going to invest and I need to have a selection of companies which will survive all economic conditions, you still ask yourself, well, wait a minute, how long is the current economic condition going to last? And should I just have stocks which cater for that and yet still be an investor? Well, here's the problem with doing it that way, and that's why we avoid doing that. If it was that simple, I would just say to you, buy one stock, maybe Nvidia, maybe JP Morgan, maybe Goldman Sachs, maybe Lam Research. These companies survive, after all, across multiple periods and economic conditions, and just have one stock in your portfolio. So now you've made a second decision. You're not just going to have one stock. You're going to have maybe 20 stocks and 5% in each, for argument's sake. But let's say you were still insistent and said, no. I think we can forecast the economic environment we're in. Well, let's have a look at that then. Okay, and I'm telling you as somebody who has a master's degree in economics from the #1 university in the world, and I'm telling you, you ain't going to be able to do it. I have academic research on my side showing you can't do it, and I have empirical evidence and data showing you cannot do it. I'm not saying I can do it. What I'm actually saying is, if I can't, you can't. And the fact of the matter is nobody can, which is why we rely on people like Warren Buffett, who says, well, actually, I've got a whole bunch of stocks, not just one, which some will do well in one environment over another. And I'll tell you why it's so hard to get the environment right. Let's look at Donald Trump's mind. Which economic environment are we in? Are we in a war and geopolitical conflict era or not? Is it a war? Isn't it a war? Is it over? Isn't it over? Do you see the problem? Do we have rising interest rates? Clearly not. But have you read the recent Federal Reserve minutes? Are we about to get them? Well, maybe that one's a little bit clearer, but do we have falling ones? Well, no, they haven't fallen for a while, and they might not do so, and they seem to have stabilized. Do you actually want to read those minutes? Probably not. Do you want to rely on a journalist whose job is not to do this for a living, but actually to be a journalist? Yeah, probably not so much. Are we in a recession? Well, the data's backward looking, and it means 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. How well is GDP growth actually measured by that data? And in any event, if we're in a recession, do you want to be in any of these things? You're starting to get the idea. You're thinking, hey, I can pick these. It'll be fine. Maybe we're not in a recession, Alpesh. Why don't you go into a commodity super cycle? Are you sure you're confident with all of these? Strong dollar, weak dollar. Which one are we in? Against whom? In absolute terms, on the dollar index, we could probably put a number in there if we wanted. High inflation? Or is it low? Economic expansion? Possibly. Okay, let's say it comes up with some names. Well, it's saying Gold, Barrick Gold, it's saying Chevron, it's saying Newmont Corporation, ExxonMobil. Wait a minute, aren't we somewhat concentrated in a narrow group of energy and commodity companies, which certainly can't make up the core of our portfolio? So we're back to, well, we still need to pick 20. And we're going to clearly then pick ones which might not sit in this, and we don't want to be overly concentrated. Because, of course, if you're saying in the current environment, you must be saying that you're happy with concentration without having information about how it could quickly change, which is why we have a diversified portfolio of 20 companies. Some will go through cycles of growth while others are falling, and they'll switch over. As long as both sets of companies over an investment holding period are rising, then they'll cancel each other out, i.e. they won't be correlated. So in actual fact, you don't want to ask what does well in the current environment. You want to ask what's resilient through all environments. That's what the Great Investment Program's about, and it's why we take people through not just trying to pick one stock and make the mistakes that I've just highlighted that retail clients are often there to make. It's also why people need a mentor. It's why they need somebody not just to give them the knowledge and the data, but they need somebody to ask, I know I've read this 100 times before, Alpesh, and you've said it so many times, but could you explain it again? And could you give me the academic literature on it? And could you give me the data and the statistics on it? Yes. Okay. alpeshpatel.com/links. That's what you're looking for. Thank you.